Hey, how you doing today? A lot of people asked about the gopher netting in my last video. Why would I take it out just to put it back in? Well, this house is 60 years old, and it's got 60 years worth of different people putting in layers of gopher netting. And every time we tried to dig into it, we would just find another piece. And we just decided the best thing to do was get it all out and start fresh. Gophers are a huge problem for us. We have gophers all over the place, so laying down the gopher netting is absolutely mandatory if we don't want to have little holes popping up. To give you an example of what the gopher holes look like, I took you out back where I have quite a few gophers going on. So you can see this is a gopher hole, and this, and this, and this one, and this one. Oh look, here's some more. And here. And not only do they have these little holes, but they make these little mounds. Now, I don't want to kill them. They're adorable little creatures, and they are welcome to live any place but right here. So that's why we put in the gopher netting. I'll tell you one thing, my hands are taking a beating with all of this going on. Between washing my hands non-stop for COVID-19 and all of this gardening, I have been thrashing my hands. Fortunately, we have a sponsor today, Bravina, and Bravina has really come to my rescue with my hands. Every night before going to bed, I get about that much Bravina on the back of my hand. I take it, I hit all of my cuticles, sort of rub that around on the cuticles. So always make sure that I definitely have it concentrated on the cuticle area, because I'm not getting in for a manicure anytime soon. And then I just rub the excess into my skin. And it really fully absorbs in about 15 minutes. I do that every night before going to bed, and my hands are soft. They are soft. I don't have any more cracked, dry skin. It was so thrashed looking. So thank you very much to today's sponsor, Bravina. If you've got cracked, dry hands and sensitive skin, you might want to check out Bravina. Most of the plants have been doing very well. We have had a few casualties. We should never have planted the hydrangea, but we were a sucker for that blue color. However, we've got an area downstairs that we're going to be planting, and it's nice and shaded, and if he can just hang on for a little bit longer, we're going to get him down there where he'll be a little bit happier. We have serious clay soil here, so we had to mix in a whole lot of soil amendment. And we had a lot of rocks in there too. It was back-breaking work, separating the rocks from the dirt and then mixing in all of the amendment by hand and then dumping it in. We worked at that for a little while and realized this project was going to take a long time at this rate. We realized we were going to need a lot more soil amendment. So we dusted off, packed up, and went to Lowe's to go pick up 10 bags of soil amendment. On the way, I had an idea. It occurred to me that we were working way too hard at separating the rocks from the dirt, and we needed to pick up the pace. So I thought, what if we take the gopher netting and shovel the dirt onto that, put it on top of the tub, shovel the dirt on it, and let all the dirt fall through, then we could just discard the rocks. Mentioned it to Howard. He went, oh my gosh, that is a brilliant idea, let's do that. And that saved us so much time. It was was a very proud moment for me. To be honest, we've never put in gopher netting before and didn't really have a good idea on how to do it. But we just use common sense. Make sure there's no little gaps where the cute little guys can get through. That involves sort of tapping it down with little spikes here and there. We tied them together. We slipped it underneath the irrigation because we knew that someday something's going to go wrong with some pipe somewhere and you're going to want to be able to access it. And we didn't want to have to tear through the gopher netting. A lot of the gopher netting that we took out was on top of the irrigation.
We bought 10 bags of soil amendment, and then we spent several hours just working it in. Sometimes by hand, sometimes by rake. We just kept working it in and filling it up and adding bucket after bucket after bucket. We made it just a little bit deeper than a typical gallon-sized plant so that we'd have a lot of room. Now the roots can still grow down beneath that netting, so that'll really help them get settled in.
We were tired. I think we ordered a pizza, had a nice bottle of wine, and then called it an early night. Next day, time to get going again.
Sit down with a cup of coffee and then it's time to get going.
What are you doing? Who are you?
I'm 1,000 years old. Oh,
Did someone give you permission?
yes.
Good. Love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
Very excited about getting all these plants in today, but first we got to keep on adding that soil and working it in.
Well, today is the big day. We just have a little bit more soil and amendment to mix up to get up to the right level. We're just about there. And of course, one of my neighbors has a motorcycle right now. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Anyway, we're getting down to the wire. Plants are going to be going in today, and I am super excited. I'm also so very tired. My body is so sore. We have worked so hard on this. Still have the eye infection. It's just not quite going down. So yeah, I look like I have a shiner all the time, and I'm not putting anything on it, so that skin feels incredibly dry. But let's go get these plants in, shall we? Yay!
I went into this all wrong. I did not have much of a plan, other than I just wanted pretty flowers. I just wanted flowers that would make my soul happy. So I put in all of my favorite flowers. I experimented with some flowers and decided to return some of them. These are the same angel wings that I put in on the mesa. I added some impatiens because I always love the way the white impatiens look at night. They really highlight the edge and you see it really glow in the moonlight. So I always plant white impatiens around my edges. Quite a few daylilies. I found a number of them at Lowe's for a reasonable price. I think they were $6.97 each. These succulents that I'm putting in behind the rock, my mom has a bunch of them in her yard and they just grow so big and full and they have a beautiful pink flower, so I'm very excited for those to get going. End of the day, time for a little water, a little cleanup, and definitely a glass of wine. We bought a bowl at a local pottery shop that we really like to have as a low bird bath. We're gonna plug that up and fill it with rocks and fill it with water so that birds and squirrels and bees and butterflies can all stop and have a drink if they like. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting in mulch to help conserve water usage. Now I'm leaving a lot of space between the plants because I do know I'm going to want to get more plants in there. Cocoa mulch. I am a big fan of cocoa mulch, though it is quite expensive, so I tend to be not as heavy-handed with it as I ought to. There is no business having a Shasta daisy in this garden, but I wanted a Shasta daisy in this garden, so there you have it. Love my angel wings. We have a number of rocks around the property, so it's nice to be able to go pick them up and just put them in to give a little extra architectural interest. There's no rhyme or reason to this garden, and this particular part of my yard is not water-wise. This is going to be the one little area that I have to pay a lot of attention to, but it's my welcome garden. It is the place that will greet me every day when I step out, and it is the first thing that I will see when I arrive home from being someplace. And it is just, it's my welcome.
Thanks for watching. I love you bunches. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon.